We will start in 5 minutes time ya. Belum ke 10 lagi kan? Okay. 10:05 kita start our class. Alright, thank you.
Morning, Dokter.
Morning. We'll start in 5 minutes time ya.
Okay. My heart can't take this. That you had in mind. You know that I want to be with you all the time. You know that I won't stop until I make you. All my love in the right place.
So guys, good morning. Assalamualaikum. We will start the class in 2 minutes time, yeah?
Feeling good, like I should. So go walk around the neighborhood. I wish I could escape. I fake it. I wish I could feel the Paradise with me, a waiting girl. You don't have to roll it down. Weekend, you light on the fire on the weekend. When I treat her like you're number one, baby. Got me screaming like a ballerina. I was singing to every day. Keep it up, girl. Yeah, all night long, baby, slow down, slow. Wait, you okay? Jangan lagi cinta, aku bisa lupa. Just aku hilang juga mengkau sayang. Jangan di belakang kita nanti. Changes, you are way back home. Hi everyone, it's me Reza Darmawangsa.
Hello, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam.
Jadi saya itu menemukan cewek di
Itu tadi Reza Darmawangsa. Bukan saya bagi salam tu. Sekarang mau bagi salam. Assalamualaikum. Alright. Semua sehat?
Sehat. Alhamdulillah.
Ha? Kalau sehat, boleh saya tengok semua buka video. Kalau sehat kan, sehat semua. I give you 1 minute untuk semua orang buka video. Terima kasih. Teraju. Dah minum dah semua? Have you had your breakfast?
Baru bantu air.
Belum.
Bancu air. Allah. Hai. Bancu air apa tu? 1 kilo. Nescafe.
Cikgu saya try je lah.
Neslo.
Cikgu tengok
Saya pun
saya tak ingat. Soalan.
apa ada soalan untuk saya? Apa tu? Itu soalan untuk orang lain tu. Siapa saya dengar ada tanya soalan? Bukan, saya tanya soalan. Okey, alhamdulillah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bagi salam tak erti lah. And a very good morning to all my beloved students from my bright students from FSM 4401. So welcome and thank you for your time for our this is our week 4 kan? Betul kan? Week 4. But the lecture is our second lecture of the semester. InsyaAllah, I still owe you another 2 lectures. But tengok pada schedule-nya, saya rasa kita masih lagi on track. So, shouldn't be a problem towards the 14 weeks semester ni. InsyaAllah, masih ada masa lagi. Baik. Before we start, ada any issues, any soalan ke apa ke, ada apa-apa nak tanya? How's your Deepavali? Kau Selia?
Yeah, it was good, doctor.
It was good. Much better than before, right?
Yes.
Alright, that's good. Priyanka, mana seorang lagi?
Yes, doctor.
Yes. How's your Deepavali?
This year I couldn't celebrate, doctor, because my relative passed away. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. My condolences, my deepest condolences for you and your family, ya.
Thank you, doctor.
Alright, okay. Yang lain-lain macam mana? Bercuti dah rentas negeri lah. Semua rentas dah esak, rentas segala-gala rentas lah. Whatever it is, please stay safe and follow all the SOP and so on and so forth, ya. Baik, saya dah record belum ni? Okay, alright. So, what we're going to do today, kejap ya. Spotify ni saya turunin dulu. So, today we will talk about saya kalau boleh note saya tu you all boleh baca sendiri. Tapi kita my lecture online is gonna be sembang-sembang. Yeah? Let's talk about something which is still within the topic, which is the first one is yang kita nak bincang hari ini ialah the second topic, which is competitive advantage. Yeah, let me share. Alright. So basically, what we will talk today is more or less. This is the notes. Boleh tengok it is on organizational strategy, competitive advantage, and information system. The basic idea is competitive advantage. Now, the first chapter talks about what is information system. Last 2 weeks, but last week tak ada kelas. Last 2 weeks we talk about why you need information system. Why do you need IT? I still remember there is one professor. He's one of my you say mentor lah once upon a time, but no more anymore lah. His name is Professor Dr. Mahmud Khan. Professor Dr. Mahmud Khan. He came all the way from Michigan State University, United States of America. Okay. Apa cerita dia? He did tell me one story about information system. Dulu saya I get apa ni? I get the opportunity to know this Professor Mahmud Khan is through, he came to our university, our campus. He's the examiner for the program, and he always remind me of this one thing. Information system, to wrap up our first chapter, information system is always as a communication mediator, meaning it is the way of communicate. Okay, information system is the way we communicate in terms of doing our project, our process in the organization, and so forth, and so on and so forth. Now, just imagine how fast this information system evolve over time. Very fast. Saya ingat dulu saya sempat hidup masa zaman telefon sebesar ni. Ya, saya tak tahu juga sempat ke main telefon yang kesing. Hello, yang pusing bulat-bulat cerita Piramli tu. Sempat Ya Allah, tua. Tak sempat kan? Saya main telefon di rumah nenek saya telefon. Kau type apa? 999. Masa tu kan, telefon 99. Kono marah dengan mak. Kan? And then the evolution cepat berlaku. Daripada telefon sebesar tu, kemudian kita ada telefon yang tekan-tekan. Saya tak tahu telefon rumah sekarang macam mana. Sekarang agaknya wireless agaknya. Dulu tekan-tekan. Sama juga kemudian the early 90s, I still remember telefon mobile. The first mobile dia besar ni. Kemudian dia ada pula beg sebelah. Dia ada beg sebelah macam ni. Bila bercakap kat kedai, kat restoran ni mesti cakap Assalamualaikum Datuk. Mesti nak tunjuk yang dia aku kaya. Datuk. That was the time. Yeah. But the evolution of this information system, communications is very fast. Yeah. I still remember saya antara orang yang tak nak ada handphone. Masa dekat Futek. Masa saya belajar tu. Best saya tu memang kita tak nak beli. Dulu dekat first floor, dekat lobby tu ada telefon masuk $2 ni. Telefon booth panggil kan. Ada dulu di lobby tu ada telefon booth. Kita orang setiap pegang star. Supaya konon je lah, tak tahu betul tidak, supaya lama bercakap. Tekan kan. Tu zaman saya lah tu. Yeah. So those the thing, saya antara orang yang resist. After this we will talk. Nanti kejap lagi kita akan tengok the level of people who want to adopt teknologi ni. Saya antara orang yang tak suka nak cepat-cepat. Belum perkenal lagi dah nak guna. Saya bukan macam tu. Tapi dia jadikan cerita, masa birthday saya, mak dan ayah saya buat surprise. Belilah saya 3310. Aku punyalah tak nak ada kan. Tiba-tiba ada lah juga 3310. Kan? 3310 masa tu. Buka lagu, tiba-tiba buka lagu Uptown Girl. Dah ada setting kan. Orang telefon Uptown Girl keluar. Alright. So those are the technology. But you see how the evolution is very fast. Until now, orang cakap telefon pun makin lama makin kecil. Telefon smartphone. You never knows that the evolution of mobile sampai saya tak ada, nanti saya share dalam Facebook group kita. The Sony Ericsson punya CEO menangis dalam dia punya press conference. Sorry, it's not Sony Ericsson. Saya Sony Ericsson, saya tengok James Bond, bukan. Nokia. He's crying. Why? Because he kata, why we are so stupid, we forgot that the future is about smartphone. Nokia ni CEO menangis. Ada siapa pakai Nokia lagi? Tak ada kan? Kalau ada, subhanallah, saya pun kagum. Pak Lang saya pakai, saya pun pening kepala. Minggu lepas saya cuba nak menghilangkan skala. Pasal ada capacity low, dia teringin nak pakai smartphone, nak pakai My Sejahtera. Mana nak boleh kan? So saya cuba juga sampai berjaya kan. Tapi itulah, ya Allah. So those are the technology. And even the technology is evolved, sampai macam saya pun terpedaya. Baru beli. Pakai earphone. Pakai Bluetooth. Bercakap menggunakan Bluetooth sekarang. The evolution of this information. Apa terjadi kalau saya masuk macam ni? Macam ni okey lah kan? Tolak. Sekali termasuk benda ni, termasuk betul-betul lah. Termasuk tolak masuk dalam badan kita. Macam mana what type of communication kan jadi masa tu? Kadang-kadang ni boleh lah letak sini kan. Letak sini. Lepas tu orang cakap saya pun tak tahu. Rupanya aku tengah dengar lagu kan. Kali tolak kecil. Makin lama makin kecil. Tolak masuk dalam. Apa jadikannya? What do you think will happen in the future if that happens? Siapa nak bagi pandangan? Benda ni okeylah besar. Dulu saya ingat besar ni kan. Mana yang besar tu? Ada yang besar. Saya punya earphone besar lah. Tiba-tiba makin kecil lah. This is what Prof. Mahmud Khan said to me. Farid, bear in mind. When this happened, I hope that I will not be there. Because if this thing become too small until you push it at your ears and it goes inside your body, at your heart. And during that time, what type of communication akan berlaku? Agak. Saya push masuk dalam, lepas tu dia terstuck kat heart saya. What type of communication masa tu? Heart to heart communication. So Prof. Mahmud kata he don't want to be teaching during that time because when you see your student, you know what the student are talking about you. You will die. So that is how fast is communication. But benda tu harap-harap tak berlaku lah. Kalau berlaku saya pun tak nak mengajar. Saya tak jawatan tu tak nak mengajar kan. Bayangkan, semua pensyarah pun tak bercakap. Student pun cakap, semua angguk, senyum, apa semua baca daripada heart to heart communication. Ini the future you never know kan. If it becomes that kind of technology. Because in the morning I could say that this is the technology. But in the evening, the technology might be changed. You tengok betapa cepatnya Instagram. Contoh, Facebook. Very fast. And you can never predict what is next. But if there is anybody in my class who can predict what is next after Facebook, please come with your proposal with me. I can polish that and then together we will be a millionaire after that. What is next after Facebook? Saya tak tahu. Dulu kita sibuk main. Saya ingat saya main Friendster. Buat gambar belakang jugai-jugai kan. Gembira. Berjugai makin banyak, berjugai makin gembira hidup. Out of nowhere tiba-tiba orang kata, you outdated lah main Friendster. Orang main MySpace. Semua terjun pergi main MySpace. Saya cakap MySpace ni apa benda pening kepala. Aku tak faham apa benda ni kan. Tengah fikir nak main MySpace. Dr. Zamri pula suruh aku main Facebook. Dr. Zamri suruh main Facebook, main pirate. Kat bilik dia, saya tembak dia tembak saya. Lepas tu dua orang berdiri. Masa tu lah. Sekarang tak ada lah. So those are the technology, communication technology that keep on changing every single time. And that is why either you like it or not, you have to accept this as a mean of to gain competitive advantage. Apa itu competitive advantage? Alright. Now, to understand what is competitive advantage, we have to know what is organization. Okay? So, tadi muka Dima je. Sekejap Okay. Ni problem. Okay. Let us see. Okay. No, I'm not sure you guys ambil kelas MGM tak? You guys
Ambil.
ada ambil kan? MGM apa yang usahawan tu
Ambil.
Usahawan kan? Tapi asas pengenalan kepada pengurusan ada ambil? Tak ada MGM tak ada? Tak ada. Tak ingat dah? Oh, lupa dah. Okay, dah Kita go through a bit lah of what is okay let's take this one for instance. Now, why I want to intro you about organization because in order for us to understand, in order for us to know what is information system, alamak, buka YouTube lah. Ya, dengan Dr. Farid Bebel senang. Okay. In order for us to understand why you need information system. Now, my lecture will liaise with your activities in your CIP UPM. Okay? Because at first you have to understand what is information system. Now, when you talk about information system, before saya cerita pasal organisation, bear in mind that whatever process, whatever things you do in your organization, in your daily life, you always will talk about these three things. Okay? So these are the three things yang either you like it or not, okay? Either you like it or not, you have to face with these three things. Okay? Benda yang tiga ni. Jangan risau, saya share benda ni. I share in the chat section. Alright. Now, what you have to understand, this is the elements of data innovation. Data evolution. Data evolution. Apa dia kata? Among those who first introduced this theory of data evolution is Professor Nonako. Professor Nonako. What did he say? He says that the data is the simplest way. Okay, data ni is sets of represent perception. Senang cerita, dia tak ada apa maksud. If your student's number, okay, your student number, for instance, metric number tu, kalau saya ataupun universiti tak bagi, we don't give any meaning. We don't give any meaning to your number. Kami bagi je 11007 katakan. So that one is raw data. There is no meaning for that. Ataupun you tengok kepada you punya data 1010. There is no meaning. Tapi when you start to give meaning to the data, then you are talking about information. Bila kita katakan, oh, this is the number for your student ID. Ataupun contoh satu lagi, markah, your marks for your exam. Markah per se, let's say we put there 98. So people or students won't know that there is a marks if you don't tell them this is your mark for your final exam. So bila you give meaning, it becomes information. You faham The first part is data, but then when it's elevate to become something which is meaningful, ada maksud, ini markah, ini student ID. Then it becomes knowledge. Information, sorry. Okay. So when you categorize them, peringkat yang seterusnya, bila you categorize them to become something which is with a certain reasoning. Contoh, markah tadi ialah 30, itu 898 dan markah. Kemudian you bagi grading them. Ya. For those who get A is 84 to 90 katakan. Ataupun fail from 0 to 40. You give that kinds of reasoning, then it becomes knowledge. Okay, so ini data, asas-asas data, asas information system. It started from data, kemudian daripada data dia pergi ke information, daripada information dia pergi knowledge, dan daripada knowledge it can becomes to wisdom. Wisdom tu bahasa Melayu dia ialah bijaksana. Okay, saya cuba buka yang ni. Okay, so this is another example. Okay, capacity to choose, maknanya ni terbalik ni patutnya. Ni betul. Okay. Okay, this is good. Okay, when you drive, for instance, raw data meaning there is no meaning. Okay, tak ada apa-apa maksud. Nombor saja. You don't know anything. Kalau ada nombor saja. So from there it's bertambah jadi information bila ada meaning, dan bila you bagi dia konteks. Ya, suasana yang berbeza. Konteks ni is different situation. It become knowledge. Ya. Maknanya situation tadi saya kata grade A, grade B, C, D dan sebagainya, itu adalah konteks dia, konteks markah. Grade markah. Wisdom is when I can say that all my students can get A for my subject. Macam mana doktor tahu? Memanglah saya tahu sebab ni student saya. Subjek saya. Itu je bezanya. So now, when you want to talk about information system, you dah tahu asas all this data evolution. The next stage for you to understand is the structure of the organization itself. Okay? Tadi saya cakap tentang saya as a not really an innovator. Sekejap saya cuba cari ni. Alright. Okay. Saya share sekali lagi. So to understand the scenario, these are some of the theories. Teori yang nak bantu kita faham. Okay. Yang nak bantu kita faham kenapa this innovation saya sebut tadi is very fast punya, the transition from one stage to another is very fast. Pagi kita cerita pasal teknologi ni, petang dah berlaku something different. I did mention just now about the evolution of the mobile technology. Ya, sampai ke heart-to-heart communication. Now all this, first been introduced, the theory ialah daripada Professor Everett M. Rogers. This is the book. Buku dia dengan saya. Buku ni pun dah lunyai saya baca dah. Jadi makanan saya buku ni. Sebab when I first jump into management punya area, I know nothing. Okay, I know nothing. So one of the buku is this. And this book is not available in Malaysia. Jadi cita-citanya nak dapatkan buku ni lah untuk buat master. Jadi duit tak ada. That was my first time to apply for credit card. Bagi reason nak ada credit card, nak beli buku ni di Amazon.com. But end up I don't buy this book until today. Saya tak beli. Saya dapat ni daripada saya punya supervisor, tapi kad kredit tu saya guna macam-macam benda lain yang aku shopping. So please be careful of using credit card. Niat dia awal suci nak beli buku ni. Tapi sampai ke mati tak beli. Buku ni saya dapat daripada saya punya supervisor PhD. Yang credit card tu menanggung hutang je sampai hari ni. Itu kisahnya. Please don't do that. Okay. Now, what is this book tell us? Okay. This book tell us about this particular thing. Okay. Dia categorizkan all the users. Now, users can be organization, can be individual. Bila kita katakan when we want to talk about information system punya user, who are the user? The user can be individual. You guys, each one of you is a user. Tetapi you have to bear in mind, Professor M. Rogers, he mentioned that individual user might be different from organization. Pengguna-pengguna inovasi ataupun teknologi dalam individu, saya, awak, semua-semualah, each one of us might be different. My mom might not want to use video. Tapi sekarang dia dah tengok video selalu dah, ceramah agama semua tengok video. Dulu apa merepek ni? Macam tu. So to understand this situation, this theory of diffusion of innovation, nama teori ni diffusion of innovation. Saya letakkan dalam apa ni. Apa teori of diffusion of innovation ni? Dia menyatakan bahawa setiap pengguna teknologi individu is different from each one. I might be different from you, you guys might be different from me. That's for sure. And same goes to organization. Individu sama organisasi adalah berbeza. Ya, organisasi dia may be the decision make for the perspective of the organization. Individu mungkin berbeza. Saya kata saya tak nak pakai telefon mobile, tapi end up with 3310. So these are the things that we have to consider. Because dalam categorization, this theory of DOI, dia presentkan there are 5 categories of innovators ataupun adopters. One is what you call the first part ni, is innovators. Makna kata orang belum buat apa-apa dia dah beli dah. Orang baru nak cakap iPhone, dia dah iPhone 100 katakan contoh. Dia orang tak cakap lagi dia dah terjun dah. I always give an instance, you jump, I laugh lah, you jump, I won't jump. Kalau cerita Titanic tu, I jump, you jump. Apa hal? You jump, I jump. You jump, I see what happened, then I jump. Tapi yang you jump, I jump tu ialah cerita innovators ni. People in the innovators category ni. Whatever new things dia dah pergi. I give you one example. My best friend. Kebetulan my best friend ni, he's a millionaire. I used to sewa dia punya bilik lah, rumah dia, dan 6 biji bilik tapi tinggal seorang kan bangang kan. Jadi saya pun sewalah bilik kat dia kan. So cut the story short, one fine day Apple, saya tak tahulah model Apple sekarang model apa. I'm not an Apple user, I'm not an iPhone user. Siapa pakai iPhone?
iPhone 13.
13, okay, right. Saya tak ingatlah sama ada this story happened about few years back. So he was like a read. Orang panggil saya Reed lah kan. Orang taklah. Nama saya Farid, dia orang tak erti nak panggil kot. Panggil Reed. Reed, the new version of iPhone is coming out. Let's go and buy it. I don't have enough money to buy iPhone lah. I don't want to go, saya kan. But you guys tahu kan dulu iPhone bila dia launchkan dulu dekat negara dia lah. Kemudian baru masuk Malaysia. So during that time, my friend ni, to explain to you innovator punya perangai ni, dia tech enthusiast ni, so he said that never mind, you just pay your flight. Why I have to pay my flight? Let's go to Sydney and buy the phone. Dia nak pergi ke Australia. Masa tu launching tak ada di Malaysia lagi. He wants to be among the few to get the phone first. Nak pergi ke mana-mana hotel makan tu dia nak tunjuk dia pakai handphone first. Itu orang terbiat nak mati pun saya tak tahulah. So saya kata you pay my flight. Let I give you you pay my flight, I pay my accommodation. Saya pun buatlah negotiation dengan dia kaya kan. So to end up the story, we went to Sydney. We went to Sydney with the objective for him to get the latest version. I think about a month before. Apple user ni saya tak tahu lah. Masa saya di Australia, kita orang ni budak-budak Android ni naik kereta sebab dia orang akan beratur tau. Untuk hari launching tu orang beratur kat luar kedai Apple ni. Kita orang angkat apa-apa baling. Bangun tiba-tiba rumah lah. Pasal dia orang akan beratur tengok sampai the first siapa yang dapat mula-mula tu macam apa dapat haleluya macam cahaya kan. Macam itulah contohnya lah. So my friend and me reach to Sydney and my friend dah bawa cash ni. Masuk ke kedai Apple tu, it's a Apple house, very huge one, the biggest in Australia dekat sini tu. Dia nampak bangunan Apple tu macam dia nampak Tuhan. Macam dia nampak gembira betul. But then to tell you the story, Apple don't allow him to buy. Dah pegang ni. Dah pegang. Dia dapat pegang tu saya tak dapat. Kalau his name is Mr. Robert, Mr. Robert. Kalau Robert ni tahu saya cerita macam ni mesti dia kata nak bunuh aku kan. Dia pegang handphone tu dekat display area macam nampak apalah. Senyum sorang-sorang kan macam I want to buy this kan. Sekali the promoter came, oh yes, we know that you want to buy this. Thank you. But you cannot buy now. Saya dah pandang ni memang orang marketing jahat kepala otak ni saya cakap. Why? Dia kata, if you really want it, you have to register at 12 midnight and those who get the first 10 person who get to register only can have the opportunity to buy our latest iPhone. Dia cakap macam tu. Saya kat sebelah nak tergelak macam orang gila dah. So saya kata, Robert dah lah, tak payahlah bang. Let's go for vacation lah, pergi mana-mana. Dia tak nak. So we stay there for 3 nights. And every single night, he's waiting in front of his laptop, hoping, just bayang Australia tu apa ramai orang, dia thought that he's among the few who can get registered 10, every night 10 tu. Saya kata, you won't get it lah, Kak. Dah lah jet lag masa tu kan. Dia tetap nak usaha. And end of the story, until the last 3 days tu, dia tak dapat beli juga. Tak dapat beli, kita orang balik kat tangan usaha. Saya dalam flight saya gelak macam orang gila je. Apalah bodoh. Ini innovator. Nak ceritakan perangai innovator ni. Yang untungnya saya dapat vacation free. So innovator ni they are very enthusiast. Okay. But early adopters ni ialah orang macam yang kata, I see what happened to you if you jump. Cerita Titanic tadi. You jump, I see first. Those are visionaries. Ataupun early adopters. Okay. So when they see everything is okay, then they jump. And early majority is pragmatist. Meaning to say, dia tengok kalau semua orang dah pakai the technology ataupun anything information system is proven is good, majority orang semua dah setuju, barulah kita campur yuk. Kalau tidak sebelum tu tak nak join. Okay. Contohlah pakai mask. Dia tengok semua orang dah pakai, baru dia pakai. Itu ialah ikut ke majority manusia. And then the fourth group of people or organization is a late majority. Ini memang konservatif. Orang suruh jangan monyet, monyet nak juga buat. Dia tak nak, dia nak konservatif. Macam masa COVID ni kan. Orang kata jangan pergi semayang kat masjid, dia sibuk nak pergi semayang masjid juga. Kata semayang kat rumah pun Allah terima juga. Oh tak ada. Dia seorang je nak pergi semayang, dia macam dia seorang je. Abang saya kata, paranoid masuk syurga, dia seorang yang paranoid masuk syurga. Orang lain tak nak, dia nak juga pergi. Konservatif. These are the people we call as late majority. And there is one group of people. Dia ni ialah lagats kita panggil. Yang last ni The pronunciation is lagats. Lagats ni apa? Is very skeptic. Dia tak nak pun. You buatlah apa pun, dia kata I don't want to use Facebook for promotion. Dia kata this is the internet marketing ni is the thing. Everything about digital is good now. I don't want. Dia kata. Aku tak nak. Aku nak pakai kipas juga. Aku tak nak pakai aircon. Contoh. Sebab apa? Aircon tak elok. Nanti sakit nafas. Tak boleh nafas. Ini orang-orang ni, orang Kedah panggil ni ketegak biji kata. Dia ketegak betul. Dia tak nak buat apa-apa pun. Orang kata pilah cek, dia tak nak. Ini orang Kedah panggil ketegak. Lagats. But these are the categories of innovators, of adopters that you have to understand, because when you do your project for CIP UPM, the company might be one of this group. Itu sebab saya kata lecture saya liaise with your project. Okay. So for instance, mungkin dia kata, pakcik tak nampak pun kepentingan website. Tak apa, jangan marah dia. Slowly. Kalau bahasa orang kampung saya, despacito. Despacito tu slowly but surely. Despacito. Pasito. Slow. Alright. So these are the reason why I explain to you guys this theory. Because this theory will help you to understand. If nanti dalam lab esok dan lusa, I will explain to you how you want to understand the company punya background, the company punya objective of e-business, needs and so on and so forth. To understand that, you have to know where are they. Adakah dia adalah kumpulan innovator, early majority ataupun late majority, lagats dan sebagainya. For you to understand them. Same goes when you want to gain competitive advantage. Competitive advantage ni apa? Competitive advantage ni is how you want to gain, let's say, UPM, UKM, dan sebagainya, IPTAs, we are competing with each other. So macam mana we want to make sure that we can do better than UKM, for instance. So we have to identify what are the stronghold of our university. Apa kekuatan kita? So from that particular kekuatan, then you can leverage and gain something which is beneficial. That particular benefit things is what you call as competitive advantages. Maknanya bukanlah nak ngambil kesempatan atas you punya competitor, tapi sort of. You nak make sure your company gain something out of the information system that you adopted. Okay. So to understand that also, you have to understand about the structure. Okay. This is a general management punya topik ni. Ini tak berapa nak penting, tapi you have to understand that there is a CEO, there is a directors, the structure. Apa organisasi organization? Now, when you conduct your interview with your potential client nanti, you have to understand who is the CEO, who are the directors, ada berapa level manager, workers dia macam mana dan sebagainya. This is what you call as organization structure. Now, why you have to understand this? Because every level of the structure might need different type of information system. Saya ada ceritakan my friend Mr. Saw, who is a restaurant owner, dia tengok dia punya workers working from playing squash with me. Ya. Jadi the needs dia ialah the upper level. For instance, yesterday I was last 2 days, sorry, we had this seminar of conducting survey research di faculty, and I was being appointed to talk about the reporting punya part. And I was telling the students, if you want to report to CEO don't bother about all this cacing kerawit. They don't give them about the details data, 1, 0 ke 15 orang datang tiap hari ke. No, they don't bother. They just want to know what is the trend. Dia nak tahu trend. So different level of organization structure ni, CEO-nya, director-nya, manager-nya, they might need different type of information system. Okay, so that's why you have to know the structure. Same goes with the level. Okay, structure tadi is on their job position. Now, that's why I created the situation where you in your group members, I said to you guys, appoint position. Betul tak saya suruh? Sebab saya nak you all duduk dalam suasana yang macam ni. So that you can understand, oh, I'm the executive for PR katakan. Kapal kata rakyat public relation. Jadi you tahu apa yang you nak. Apa yang you perlu. Kalau you are marketing punya officer, what do you need? So that was the reason why I do this CIP UPM punya activity. So that you can see the difference. Now, for instance, this is so this is the pyramid, kita panggil ni sebagai pyramid organization. MGM patutnya dah ajar benda ni. Kalau dia orang tak ajar, nantilah saya pukul dia orang tak ajar student saya. Tapi tak apalah, we go through once again. Saya sharekan dekat dalam chat. Okay. Now, why you have to understand this again? Because every level of the management level, they might need different type of data information. They might need different type of information system. Contohnya, workers. Yeah. You are talking about workers, katalah cashiers. Yeah, you go to food retails ni. Ya, food retail ni banyak yang you nampak yang warna merah. Cakap merah ni ingat air sirap je. Kita panggil dia RFID, scanner. Scanner kan? Kan dulu tak ada, dulu banyak cop-cop. Harga berapa? RM3.50 tu kan. Sekarang pakai barcode. Now, actually people don't realize that is a very crucial sebenarnya. Because whatever that you scan, sale dekat depan cashier tu, makcik kakak tu, sekarang is good that we give opportunities kepada orang istimewa juga, siapa yang boleh bekerja dekat situ. Because of the scanner tu, people can work. But bear in mind, that particular level is very important. That's why dia letak paling bawah. Sebab apa dalam bawah paling ramai. Paling banyak. The most data came from there. So if you wrongly inputted that data into your system, into your organization punya data, everything that whoever make decision on the higher level of the management will also make a wrong decision. Sebab tu dekat sini kena betul. I give example semalam 2 hari lepas tentang pilihan raya tahun 2018. Sebab yang paling banyak itu ialah bahagian-bahagian UMNO contoh. But if that particular bahagian bagikan informasi, data, dia key in data salah. Data key in dia tu, dia kata semua orang suka Rosmah. Rosmah is lovable. Rosmah is lovable. But it is not. So when that is skewed, salah, every single ketua bahagian, ketua negeri salah buat keputusan, sampailah Datuk Seri Najib membuat decision salah. What happened to UMNO? Kalah pilihan raya 2018. Because the reflect is pemimpin-pemimpin UMNO waktu itu turun bawah pakai orang besar. You see how they are react now? Rendah diri sikit kan? Sebab dah tahu. So that is why this phase is very important. The first data, kalau you salah data masuk, orang beli 5 KitKat, you kata beli 3, 2 lagi hilang. It will reflects on the sales of the KitKat punya chocolate towards the executive punya decision. So these are the things, okay, right. So these are the things that everyone have to bear in mind. So that's why you have to understand that different level of management need different types of information system. For instance, executive, they just want something which is simple. Dia tak nak tengok 1010 berapa student. Dia nak tahu berapa, kenapa dapat A. Contohnya kelas saya. Dekan minta surat tunjuk sebab. Kenapa student kamu dapat A? Saya jawab, kerana mereka cerdik. Ambil kau. Dia tak boleh terima student cerdik. Macam student dah cerdik. Because we have to bear in mind, this subject is very close to the student because they are the new generation. You all lagi pandai daripada saya. Betul tak? Mak saya lebih pandai daripada saya dah buat main story, dia pandai. Saya tak pandai buat story. Story Instagram tu dia lagi hebat. Keluar-keluar. Kau tak tengok ke story ni, Lofa. Mak tak sempat tak baca tu semua. Dia pandai. So we are in the learning process. Sebab tu ada satu teori mengatakan bahawa in any organization, nowadays you have to be a learning organization. Learning organization tu kenapa? We have to learn from each other. Whatever level we are, we have to be very organized. Student boleh ajar pensyarah pun boleh ajar student. Dia tak boleh kata pensyarah tahu semua. Itu pensyarah penipu nama tu. Sebab we are in a very fluid sekarang. Now, ada soalan sebelum saya pergi seterusnya. Ni cerita teori ni kan ada yang pensan lah kan. Ada apa-apa teori nak tanya? Okay, alright. So, dah cerita. Alright. So that was the reason why in any organization we have to faham dia punya level of management. Now, there is one more part of the organization yang saya nak cerita. Ialah tentang functional areas. Okay. Ni pakcik ni. You need to understand. Ini sebab tu dalam tajuk ni is a organization structure, information strategy and information system. Competitive advantage and information system. Now, when you do your CIP punya exercise, saya suruh you all semua cakap, bagi terang bahagian-bahagian. Now, in any organization, dia tak boleh ada satu je bahagian. Functional areas ni apa? Functional areas we are reflecting on each department lah. Kita senang cerita. UPM ada bahagian college, ada bahagian akademik, ada HEPA, ada transportation. Ini bahagian-bahagian. Sebab itu kita panggil dia sebagai functional business area ataupun functional areas. Is merely impossible. Dalam satu business, dalam satu organisation, Ya, hanya ada human resource je. Tak logik tu. Gila lah company tu. Ya. Kalau for instance kita ambil diri kita. We use ourselves as the example. Ya. We cannot stand alone by our badannya. Dr. Farid ada badannya, kepala tak ada. Na'udzubillah, tak jauh. Kita nak kena sempurnanya mesti we have in our body ourselves, we have to have hands. Dua, tangan nak ada dua. Kan? Cuba bayangkan saya ni ataupun you all imagine yourself, tiba-tiba tangan ada 3. As a human, dah tak sempurna dah kan. So you have to have all this, particularly all this as a functional areas. Mesti ada kaki, mesti ada mulut, cakap dan sebagainya. Same goes with organisation. Yeah? And each one of the functional areas kita panggil ni mesti mempunyai ataupun ada kehendak dan juga there's a needs and there is a specific need for information system. Sebab tu ada accounting information system, ada financial punya information system, HR, marketing dan sebagainya. Okay. Tapi in some instances, there might be overlapping. Ya, marketing mungkin sekali dengan accounting dan sebagainya lah. It depends on that particular information, in that particular organization punya structure yang saya dah bincang awal tadi. Okay. Tapi dia tak boleh semua one man show kita panggil. One man show ni nanti zaman-zaman mak saya boleh lah. Boleh bertahan lah. She owns a kindergarten for the last 25 years. Yeah. And for the last 25 years, dia lah Seri Kandinya. Orang panggil bahasa Melayu tu Seri Kandinya kan. Tapi kena migraine, kena sakit darah tinggi, macam tu lah. Sebabnya dia tak boleh. It's merely impossible for one man, one person to control everything. Ini tak logik. The only person, the only thing that can do this is God. Yang lain tak boleh. If you are known as a human or you are related to benda baru, still you have to divide. Ya, kita ni tak boleh nak buat semua sesuatu. If you want to, kalau nak tanya mak saya, pergi tanya. Dia kena migraine lah, apalah, bergaduh laki bini lah sebab nak bertahan dengan 25 tahun. Business. So, it is not an easy task. But you have to have specific roles. Sebab tu dalam kumpulan you all ada specific roles saya kata saya nakkan. And then information system should help you guys to organize. Okay. Minggu depan saya akan talk about how each one of these pula, they cannot stand alone. Saya dah kata tadi, satu business or one organisation cannot be dia hanya ada marketing je. Kemudian dah selepas pada tu, I want to tell you next week, saya bagi intro sikit hari ni, no or none of these every functional areas can stand alone juga. Macam you guys lah. Ada ke sesiapa yang boleh, student yang boleh hidup seorang diri? Aku tak perlu kawan-kawanku. Woi, dah gila budak tu katnya. Perlu bantuan tu perlu bantuan. Because none of us can apa nama tu? Can survive by our own self. Functional areas tu, it must be integrated pula. Marketing need kepada HR, HR need kepada accounting need kepada financial dan sebagainya. Dia tak boleh. And all that must be integrated. Contoh, saya bagi contoh. Ini last, kemudian kita, I think I will end up saya tak nak, pasal cerita-cerita teori-teori ni lama-lama jadi gila kan. Saya nak kita stop lepas ni. Okay, now, I will end on the integration. I give you instance yang paling mudah. Sebab you all semua student lagi. Ada tak dia di UPM? Di kampus. Kita bayangkan di kampus. Semua orang bayangkan kampus hijau yang cantik tu yang you all dah lama tak balik tu, rindu tu. Bayangkan tu sekarang. Now, di UPM kita ada fakulti. Kemudian di fakulti ada pula college. Di college pula ada tengah-tengahnya katalah Putra Food Court yang tak sedap tu tersebut pula. Putra Food Court. Kemudian ada PAS yang kadang-kadang ataupun most of the time tak apa nak tepat masanya, tercakap lagi pula. Kan? Now, every single thing ni, pusat kesihatan bagus. Sebab dah 2 kali saya diselamatkan denggi oleh mereka. Ya, siap bawa ambulans pergi hospital. Now, every single entity dalam UPM tu ialah functional areas. Bayangkan macam tu. Kemudian, setiap functional areas tu sepatutnya dia integrate. You buat apa kat college? Fakulti patut tahu. Fakulti, you buat apa kat fakulti? Orang college pengetua tahu. Barulah budak-budak tak kena buang college. Saya dah buat aktiviti kat fakulti. Kenapa college buang saya? Merit tak sampai ke kami. Kau tak integrate rupanya. Nyanya siapa? Pengguna. User. User students lah. Ini yang saya nak kata. Saya tak tahulah agaknya lah di UPM. Sebab 20 tahun lepas masa saya di UPM macam tu ceritanya. Ya, asalnya sama je ceritanya sampai hari ni kan. Itulah tak patut tu. Whatever you are doing in faculty, katalah you attend kelas saya. This is part of the activity juga kan. Kenapa pula tak dikira merit? Saya bagi contoh, jangan cakap Dr. Farid bagi tahu. Ada orang tua tu ceritalah kata. It should be integrated. Barulah everything dapat synchronize. Kalau student tak sihat, pergi ke pusat kesihatan. Pusat kesihatan masuk, kod dia, student nama sekian-sekian, pum. Terus bagi tahu pada fakulti. So, student ni tak payah datang kelas. Ada ke sistem tu? Saya tak tahulah. Kalau ada, alhamdulillah. Tapi saya kalau budak tak datang, kesian dia. MC hilang, kata MC hilang. Macam manalah? Doktor pun kata student nipu. Doktor saya betul sakit batuk ni, nak mati. Kalau dapat terus kepada salinan kepada PA contoh. PA pun bolehlah efektif sikit kan. Ni PA dapat student dapat result apa pun dia tak tahu. So these are the things. Saya bagi contoh ni dalam keadaan UPM. Ya. Kalau you all aktif di college. Ya. Aktif di college patutnya dekan, PA dapat tahu patutnya. Tapi ku masih teraba-raba dalam siap. Tak tahu. Apa student buat di college tak tahu. Rupanya student is a president of the college. PA boleh tak tahu. Macam mana? Last semester ada seorang dapat bertanding EXCO menang. Dia punya senior tu best you. Menang. Saya memang buat lawak lah pasal dia. Dia kelas rap waktu tu. Dapat tahu pula dia anak kepada kawan baik saya yang dah meninggal. Habis saya kena habis-habis saya buat lawak betul dalam kelas. Saya tak tahu. So there is no integration between student information activities with pensyarah academics. Sebab tu kalau student buat program, gotong royong, pensyarah semua tak turun. Pensyarah universiti lain lah, bukan UPM. Universiti lain, bukan UPM. Pensyarah UPM, student buat program dia semua turun. Ush, jangan sebut. Dia innovator, belum buat lah doktor kami nak, saya turun. Alhamdulillah UPM. Universiti lain. Setiap orang macam perangai macam tu. So these are the things that information system actually boleh bantu manusia. Ini nak cerita ni. Information system boleh bantu. We get to know each other. Sebab tu kenapa seorang-seorang tak boleh hidup seorang? Sebab dalam Quran pun sebut li ta'arafu kan, berkenalan. Boleh ke seorang-seorang hidup seorang-seorang? Tak boleh. Li ta'arafu tu, for those who don't understand, li ta'arafu ialah get to know each other. Or every single section, every single thing have to get to live along together. Same goes with information system. Ya, information system ni dia boleh bantu manusia to uplift your life improvise everything, effectiveness and efficiencies. Effectiveness tu is doing in the correct way. Okay, effective is doing thing in the correct way. Efficiency is increase your productivity. Yeah, efficiencies are increase your productivity can be done by the assistance of information system. Saya ada cerita dalam kelas yang lepas, saya kata information system ni just a tool. It's just a tool, but the most important is behind tu. Behind dia ada manusia. We want to help this manusia. Manusia ni lemah. Yeah. So the introduction of internet, the introduction of any innovation. Yeah. Innovation ni apa? What is innovation? Anything that is new to you. Kalau katakan apa nak contoh? Katalah ni pasal baru beli tunjuklah kat student kan. Katalah ni saya tunjuk kepada you guys, you nampak saya punya Bluetooth ni, oh something new to you, it is an innovation. I still remember my brother, my second brother, dia pergi ke satu kepulauan Komodo Island ni. Dia nak bawa pensel warna. Saya mula-mula saya gelak. What the hell you want to bring color pencils to Komodo Island? Rupanya, it's a very sad story actually. They never see pencil warna. Sedih tak? You all nampak pasal color tu pun sebab sepak je lunar color tu kan. Tapi diorang kat sana, dia nampak pensel warna tu is macam nampak, kok kenapa bisa diwarnai ni? Dia kagum. When this happened about 3 years ago. So my brother stay with them and then give color. You can see how they appreciate the innovation, which is pencil color. So innovation is anything. Yeah. Doesn't mean it must be information system. Tak semestinya. Kalau buku 5 tu awak bagi, kenapa bagi saya buku 5? Tulis, pakcik tulis. Tiap hari things to do. So that is an innovation to them. Yeah. Same goes when you face with the company yang you nak jadikan klien nanti, dia might not know that website is satu benda yang boleh promosi. Dia ingat internet marketing tu just Facebook. Kita tak boleh marah Facebook. Facebook berjaya buat branding dia. Macam Colgate lah, Colgate. Colgate berjaya sampai semua orang panggil cuma toothpaste tu Colgate. Maggi. Ya, Maggi. Semua orang panggil Maggi. Saya tanya wan saya, apa pula sardin ni? Tu tin sardin. Mak saya pun nak masak sardin ni. Sardin apa? Sardin. Tengok rupa brandnya lain. Di situ semua sampai sen kan semua sardin. Right? So branding on the Facebook is correct. It's not the fault of branding, but the fault is to make people understand. So that is your duty, my duty. Sebabnya saya selalu cakap kepada my friends, my mom, don't, bahasa Melayu sebut jangan marah orang bodoh. Kenapa dia bodoh? Dia bodoh, redha lah kan, dia bodoh kan. Jangan marah orang bodoh, kenapa dia bodoh. Marah orang cerdik, kenapa tak ajar orang bodoh. You never scold people who don't know, but you go and shout at those who are so-called clever, but they don't teach those people who are less informative than them. So with that, I think it's enough for us. Saya akan sambung minggu depan on how after you understand the whole structure of the organization, then only you can suggest to them how you want to gain information, to gain competitive advantage. Dah faham, dah kenal, dah cinta dengan company tu, barulah boleh masuk meminang. Jangan hari pertama jumpa tu nak masuk Minang, dah orang terpiat. You have to understand the whole structure, the whole scenario. And then only you can propose this is the best for your company to gain the competitive advantage. Barulah orang semua kata, oh, internet ni ada kepentingan. Kalau tak tahu latar belakang, tak tahu siapa mak ayah dia, Tiba-tiba pakcik saya nak kahwin anak pakcik, itu kan bini aku, itu bukan anak saya, itu bini saya. Macam. Awak tu tiba masuk, saya ingat nak minang anak pakcik lah. Anak tu bini baru aku. Kan lah kena nyanyi. So that is why we have to understand the whole that. Okay, any question from you guys before I postpone the class? Apa yang saya bebel ni ada dalam note, jangan risau. Ada soalan?
No question, doctor.
Ada. Alright. So if there is none, so I meet with the first group tomorrow. We will do some activities on CIP UPM on regards to this juga. Nanti saya akan explain. And insyaAllah bagi saya, doa saya dapat kesempatan, I am developing something which will guide you more effective lagi lah kot. InsyaAllah. Saya tengah developkan satu manual untuk you guys. Every week buat apa. Pokok. Saya tengah develop benda ni. Okay. So kalau siap nanti senang lah you guys. Tahu apa nak buat. Every week nak buat apa. So tak ada guidance, more guides for you guys lah insyaAllah. Saya buat hari ni insyaAllah.
Doktor,
Yes.
saya ada soalan.
Yes please.
Kita kena fokus on one company je ke? Boleh ke kalau kita buat dua company, the second one tu as a backup? Tak boleh eh?
Saya tak nak menyusahkan student. Kenapa yang first company tu tak confirm?
Takut macam like halfway dia macam something problem ke dia.
Yang second company dia nampak lagi eager.
Takut dia lah. Sebab tu macam nak buat dua as a backup macam tu lah. Ke tak pun kalau macam sekerat jalan tukar company macam tu.
Nanti susah.
Okay,
So
faham.
saya kalau if you ask me, I would suggest that you just focus kepada yang kedua. Yang betul-betul nak. Supaya tak timbul masalah pada you. There is no problem but in the cycle of the activity untuk help the company, if you tengah-tengah jalan bercerai, you kena mula balik proses bercinta tu. Nak mikat balik, nak kenal nama, itu take times tu. Nanti kan lebih baik pilih betul-betul tu. Dah. Okay. Contoh. Khairul dah senyum cerita. Alright, boleh saya jawab soalan
Sekejap. Okay, thank you doktor.
No worries. Okay, saya rasa itu saja. Ada soalan lain? Any other questions? Tak ada So I think tomorrow and on Thursday insyaAllah. Alright, so do take care, play safe and kirim salam send my regards to your family. Alright?
InsyaAllah.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you guys.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, Doctor.
Welcome.
Thank you, doctor.
Welcome.
Thank you, Doctor.
Dadah.